Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, Hoops Gamer here. Again, we are in the new world, looking at our islands. Well, we're actually looking at Willy's Island for a change. Just to see, I guess I'm trying to gauge the size of the island and see where does this island fit with our plans. I guess the reason for this is that I did not really think, to be honest, when I had said that I would like this to be one island. This cannot, well, it can be, I guess, but I guess it cannot be really one island because of this. This is regional mail. The only way to get regional mail is from another island. So I think we will need another island. I was looking at this one here because it's kind of in one kind of, I don't know, one way direction, whatever you want to call it. So I think, you know, should we, let's say, have supply going from the another island, which is up here, then to our main island, which is this one here, Falamingo, and then here. The only thing is that doesn't seem to be very big. But I guess you would make it with the Hacienda, you would make it big enough population-wise. Yeah, I think so, anyhow. Anyhow, that's for another day, I guess, because by the time we have this done, it'll be quite a bit of time. By the time we'll get this supplied and whatnot. Okay, so let's start with this. This is going to be taking half an hour. And in the meantime, is this ready? Yeah, this is going, so that's good. Let's check on expedition as always. Perfect. Okay, we now have this girl. I think another one is being developed. Yes. So I guess we'll need more. I know there are two of those items here, but we will need more as we go. So one other thing I've noticed when I was kind of putting the episodes together, I mean, we're definitely overproducing the atoli and this. As the spices are okay, because these things are the only things that are consuming spices. This isn't, because this is using corn as well as the other thing is. So, because we hardly need the atoli, to be honest, what I want to do is to pause all of them and maybe have... yeah, well, not for too long anyhow. And maybe have 5 the most. And I think that's even excessive for the time being anyhow. So let's just have 5 of these. And as I said, the hot sauce is fine, so we don't really care about this. But there's this other thing.
We need raw materials.
So this needs caoutchouc, which is the cables. There's something else. I think this as well, is it?
Of course. Come
No,
join
this
us.
isn't. But this needs celluloids. So does this or this? No. This. I knew it. Okay. So film reels, again, we don't need that many of them. And guess what I have not done is to check the actual production. Yeah, I mean, we're overproducing it almost. 4 times over. Therefore, we're pausing all of it, and we'll enable...
I can start singing again.
Okay, yeah, you go ahead, love. Maybe this many. And that's probably... Yeah, that's just perfect. A bit of a surplus, and it won't be overusing basically this thing. Okay, so this is back up with the storage now because of these guys being paused. So that's okay for a moment. We don't care. Okay, let's check ice cream. The reason I want to reduce them because it is, yeah, you can see, I mean, we're producing crazy amounts. Like, we don't even need that many ice creams. Yeah, so that's attractive apparently. So this provides attractiveness.
In reading my manuscript?
So, okay, +8. Very interesting. Is it just the building? Oh no, this guy. Okay, this guy. Okay. So let's take a look now. Ice cream. Perfect. We're still overproducing it 3 times over. Well, twice over. With just 8. So that's good. This is gonna produce us enough ice cream for everywhere. Now, we have not activated it on the other islands for everyone. The reason for it is that this will just take much longer if the goods aren't produced quick enough, if that makes sense. Because by the time they're being delivered, they're being consumed, and it's just kind of like that. Okay, and the same thing we want to do with the scooters, so... yeah, okay. It's interesting. So we're producing 32 with cool items. Wow. Who would have thought? And what's the productivity? 188. Well, I'm sure it's more because only these items it's 160. So 263, whatever, but that's fine. Okay, so we again don't need this many, and we'll have 5. Let's have 6. Scooter now is exactly half of what we need. So cable, I want to leave it the way it is because it's being consumed for this place, and there's somewhere else, here or something. Yeah, one of those anyway. I know it's being used twice. Somewhere anyway. That's fine. Same as with these things. I want to leave them the way they are because they're kind of they're needed for those two things. But fans we don't. So let's take a look at fans. Yeah, 67 we were producing. We just need 12. So now we're gonna pause them. And I think for fans, I want to have this many. And that should be plenty. Oh. Yeah. 28. So that's twice and more. 2.5, you could say. Yeah, and that's really it. Again, these things we don't have to worry about because they will slowly get to a maximum. Now the attractiveness went down, so we're back to the usual 1,000 storage. And this is now ready.
All of them will do nicely.
I am kind of tempted to try these, but I believe if we... Okay. I believe that if we choose one of these, we just get less influence, which we shouldn't, because we want more, not less. 150 again.
The people celebrate your leadership.
Okay. Right, so I was just thinking, in addition to what we were saying about the Hacienda, I just realized as well, and I actually had to reload the game because I've done this mistake. So what happens is that if we get rid of everyone from here, the radius of Hacienda goes down so low that literally this will not be covered in any shape or form. Therefore, because the 75 whatever radius of the Hacienda requires at least 1,200 people. Now we definitely have more than 1,200 here, but we do need to keep some sort of population. So yeah, so one island is not gonna cut it because we need this, and I don't want this to be put on an island whereby we just can't get the attractiveness to a point where we get nice items and, you know, things like that. So I don't really want to... so this island, because it has all of the production going on here, I just want to leave it the way it is. But at the same time, we have to. There's literally not a way otherwise because of this Hacienda requirement. Right, well, then that's what it is.
The people celebrate your leadership.
Right.
Nash of hook and cutlass. Yar booty.
Anyhow, this doesn't stop us from developing this island. As you see, we have nice bit of population when it comes to Artistas. There's a lot of them on this island as well. But I think, I was kind of thinking, and I think the best thing to do would be to keep a small population of, let's say, the farmers, whatever. So,
I feel young.
I think, because... What's the other house? We had it here. Somewhere. Isn't it taking like...
Muchas gracias.
55? So... 55 is the max. So we'll only need 22 houses. For this.
The people celebrate your leadership.
Um, we've 34 right now. So they would even like fit in here or something. Although it wouldn't be the best
Life's not always an easy
location,
day,
but somewhere here anyhow, or even here because you can see the radius is large. Yeah, you can go.
Oh, I can't.
Right, so let's go back. That's for another day, as I say. Let's focus on this thing. So we know by now that these guys are way too far. So they need to be moved. This isn't reaching. We may have to have another one. So for the moment, let's just not worry. And this, yeah. So this house is still fine. Yeah, these are fine. Okay.
How thrilling! A renowned personage has arrived.
Well, not so thrilling. Right, we'll need things like chapels. So that's one. Okay, that is not fully satisfied.
The people celebrate your leadership.
This guy is these two guys. Yeah. So we'll need another chapel somewhere. Like here, perhaps. Yep. Just have a road. Okay, and guys, as always, I'm gonna just time-lapse this, okay? Try to do my best to fit as many of them as possible. I think when it comes to Obreros, we'll definitely need a lot. So I'll be constantly checking where's the radius. You can see here it ends, and yeah, here. So this part here cannot be used, unfortunately, anymore. Yeah, it's not too bad, but yeah, a lot of fiddling, as I was saying. But yeah, let me do that, okay? And I'll speak to you guys in just a moment. Or not just a moment, as I initially thought. It did take me quite some time to figure this out. What we're looking at right now is me trying to see if it's possible to actually extend the Hacienda range with the roads. At the same time, it actually matches the other side of the Hacienda. So I thought to myself, well, if it's not extending it, at least it's going to, at least it'll match what's on the other side. And as I've said, because we need so many Obreros, I'm actually trying to fit as many as possible, and I'm adding all of the necessary, because I actually forgot here at this point to add the as you can see, I forgot that there is already a post office, and I'm trying to fit the town hall and to make sure that it actually covers as many houses as possible. Now here I just realized that Hacienda doesn't reach this corner, so what I'm doing is that I am trying to literally have every single Obrero to be covered and then leave the rest for the future. This part here, it's something that I guess I struggled with, because it's very as you can see, very limited in terms of what fits here. Again, I'm just adding the boxing arena to ensure the full coverage. And really here, I didn't really have a great idea on the design, and I thought to myself, since I want to fit as many as possible, I just copy and paste. And again, just deleting the ones that don't have the full Hacienda coverage. And I've deleted a lot because none of them have. And here I just wanted to kind of draw the end of the border of the Hacienda, of the radius. And I'm repeating the same steps really over and over. Nothing too crazy here, nothing unusual. Just trying to fit as many Obreros as possible. A lot of fiddling around, a lot of checking, making sure constantly. And as you see here, I just decided, because there's a lot of back and forth, me checking, because it's impossible to remember exactly where it ends, where it begins. So I decided just to kind of build and then delete it if I don't need it. It doesn't really affect our population, so it's all fine. This little corner was actually quite interesting, so I figured that I was able to fit additional, I think, 3 houses that are covered with the Hacienda, so that's also good. And then the fact that the chapel just fitted here with the view for the sea really was a bonus. And again, I'm just making sure that all the coverage is there, because more than likely I will need to move Artistas to the edges, as I've said in my previous episode. I didn't need the chapel there. Again, just fixing a fire. Again, I'm just checking the radius, or the reach, I should say, because the radius is the green, and I figured that there are 2 more houses that can fit there. What I'm doing here now is I'm laying out all of the... what's their name for them again? Post offices. Almost on the entire island. This is because at this point I know now that I will add the actual normal houses. So I figured let's just do it. Because starting this project, I actually forgot some of them. As you can see now, I'm adding the hospital, so the kind of awkward corner over there by the wall or by the mountain, yeah. And I've forgotten these guys also. This has to be covered, otherwise we'll be getting the fires all the time. Now I am dealing with the south portion of I guess the population or the island, and I already didn't really know how to implement the wall, so I guess I just have a wall going kind of cutting the island in half. And I guess I figured what it'll be like just a different zone, or like a suburb of the main area where Artistas live. Although, as you'll see in the moment, because of the fact that the Hacienda doesn't reach, I'll have to supplement this with Artistas. So this was a very awkward corner. There's really nothing that I can do here because all of the post offices are laid out literally one by one, so there's not a way of moving them. There's no wiggle room whatsoever. So you can see now I'm starting adding Artistas and I'm moving them from the main, kind of middle, I guess. What I noticed at this point is that after adding all of the Obreros, it just took forever and a day for the population to develop. So that was quite surprising. Yeah, and that's the stadium filled. I just noticed that only one game can be played. So for those that remember when I've said that it looks very OP if you had all of the stadiums on every island and you could just keep playing games, it doesn't work like that. So they've limited this to just one game per the entire region, basically, no matter how many stadiums you have, which only makes sense because otherwise it would have been way OP. So I am just adding additional Obreros, fiddling with the wall, adding as many crossings as possible. Again, the service buildings. I was keep checking there actually how does it look like. I don't think I was quite happy with the way it looks like because it's just all very squeezed and very tight, but at the same time I don't think there's a much choice, but that's okay. I mean, the way my style of this gameplay is to be as efficient as possible, so it kind of works. There's really no beauty building in my playstyle here. So over there, when I was rotating the camera, you could see I was trying to figure out what I'm doing with this wall, and I just decided to just leave it be. Yeah, and just kind of bring it to the end. Again, an awkward corner, and because of the fact that there are two minerals, whatever, gold deposits, I think, I will need a warehouse. What I'm doing here is that I am placing, yeah, so you can see I'm replacing, so Artistas go to a place of an Obrero where it does not have a full coverage of Hacienda, and vice versa. I'm just kind of placing them back and forth, and there's a lot of checking here. In the end, I actually thought it works because of the fact that oh, just let me say this very quickly. This is I'm just adding a temporary route for corn because the supply of Atoli and something else, Haleas, actually has been affected by this. So what I was saying is that in the end, because this is just making things more organic, like a normal city, where you have different shapes of buildings and different styles and different whatever. So not just one kind of cluster of buildings. So with them being swapped back and forth, it kind of works out to a degree, obviously. To a degree, it's a game. So again, bit of fiddling with this. I figured that the wall isn't really here, something that is needed, and because I could fit more houses over here and other buildings, I've decided just to delete that portion. And again, I was able to fit a chapel just perfect because the Obreros just that are north from that chapel had, I think, 90 something covered. Again, I'm just adjusting this because I figured that if I had the, as you can see, if I had the road going straight to one of the mines, it'll actually cover the electricity will cover the mine, and it will affect its production. So at this point I realized that I have no stations in this part of the world, and obviously it's a power station, so a fire station would be something that would be needed. Good news. So no need for propaganda. Couple of, I guess, I wanted to make this a ruin, a wall ruin, or just part of an old city or something to that extent. And again, I'm adding more buildings. This was an awkward bit because it has the rail track, and it is something that caused me quite a few issues at the very beginning, but I was able to squeeze it in, and it really fits, I feel. And then there is the stadium, and I feel like there's a bit of a space where some sort of trees or something could go in. Right, guys, so this took such a long time. I mean, it is absolutely crazy how Hacienda is, how demanding the Hacienda is. I really did not expect this. So that's quite tough with the way that you need to be looking out for Obreros. You need to be looking out for the radius, and I want to be completely full. And then these guys are fine, but then you need to look out for electricity. Because it's huge radius, you can really see that it's massive. I am able to swap them basically, and that's what I've been doing. So wherever the Hacienda isn't reaching, which you can see I actually have left, so the Hacienda's radius is reaching, but not the actual coverage, I guess is the way to put it. So I think, because what I did not do, as you can see, I didn't leave any room for the track. So if anything, it'll leave me fiddling around. Now there is a bit here because there's one next to it, so the Hacienda itself wouldn't have to be moved, but I would need to move the entire thing. So and as you can see, because it's literally jam-packed, I guess I would put this. Yes, I would need to redesign this, so I may have to do it off the screen. Otherwise, you'll see me just redoing it over and over and over. So for the moment, I think what I want to do is to. You can see here, literally, this is the end of it. So this allows me to basically see where is the end, if that makes sense. So I know by the stadium that's it. There's no more that I can go. And then these edges here, the left one and the right one, it tells me where the radius ends. So let's just fill these in. Not a lot of the Obreros can fit. Now, Obreros are the most important when it comes to this. Because a lot of the production really needs Obreros, really. And because we know now that we need another island, I'm not that pressed for the rest of the guys. Now, as well as that, I have already blueprinted these guys because we will probably keep going here with the Obreros. Now, in the meantime, we have run out of corn, which started affecting the other things, which is the Atoli and the Aleas. So that's what happened. But I have a temp ship just going back and forth to get the corn.
Seductive. Success at sea is not easily won.
You tell me. Okay, well, we're getting flags. Yeah. Oh, crap again. Oh, this is strange. So what happened here? Oh, these are the... Oh, I see. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Isn't it? I mean... So he didn't even make the thing. He just literally threw it out outside. Yeah, that's strange, because normally even if he's full, he's able to... Yeah, these are those items. Okay, we're just gonna donate them. We don't care.
Cargo boat at the ready.
Okay, so just load it up with champagne.
Ship shape.
And that's it. Now, one final thing I want to do.
That certainly settles the stomach.
She's got a lot of ships all of a sudden. It's interesting. I mean, she doesn't even have engineers. I think this is her biggest island. She's got a bigger one in the New World, but obviously without engineers. She can only do like the frigates and things. Right, so just the ships I want to sort out
Reporting in.
quickly with these items.
Room to maneuver.
This guy. So actually both of them, they have to go to the Arctic for the items. Oh. No, sir. Okay, so we've now 3 ships
New orders.
full with
May
items.
we see these shores again.
Oh, who's this? Have a feeling. Let's just have a few other ships going, maybe 6. Just in case. Because these items are being produced. Yeah. So that's not a problem.
People celebrate your leadership.
Perfect. And let's take a look at this island again.
I can teach you how it works.
Yeah, so the letters are no longer an issue because we've a lot of them, but this is the overseas mail because we're consuming more. But that's not a problem. This is just a matter of increasing from the old world. And we are now also, I've added these items, whatever, for the reports. So that's going to be good. And that's what we need the small airship for. These are just for the reports. And because he's very fast, he just goes up and down very fast. I have to demolish a bit of the wall just to fit all these, but that's okay. Just wanna upgrade the warehouse. I actually found this interesting that these guys, or maybe this guy, he can go all the way here. I mean, that's impressive.
Your ship has returned from its voyage.
Perfect. And I guess we would need a couple more. Somewhere. At least one more here. Just that building is awkward. Yeah, let's have it here. You can go like this. It's actually quite fitting here in this little thingy, because I didn't want to lose one thing though. Let me just see. Yeah, we could fit a house or two here. Ooh, that's more tempting than this thing. Let's just see. Yeah, let's do it that way.
We have to thank you for it.
You do.
You guide us towards something bright.
And then, yes, I can fit another house. Yeah, that works out. And this, I could potentially fit like that. Looks ugly, but I'm happy with it. And it still works.
Returned from its voyage.
And then we'll just grab, let's say this guy. Yeah, that works. And then we can have fountains and little things here, ornaments and things like that. So overall, it works. Perfect. Oh, final thing I've noticed. Is this. So that's interesting. That actually, do you remember what I was saying before? When I thought that because this can be built on a lot of the islands, only one championship can be played, which I guess just only makes sense because otherwise you'll be overusing it and you'll never need anything else apart from just this building. I think I feel like the requirements for that building should be bigger. Not just you know, there was just wood or something, so it feels very what's the word I'm looking for? Inadequate, I guess. And quickly before, yeah, I think this fits here better. Yes. Okay. Perfect. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Again, this was an interesting episode for me because you know, although I have played so many hours, I think this is now over 1,000 hours that I've played. And yeah, I think I've explained it in one of the early episodes that I've actually stopped playing for quite some time when there were a lot of bugs, a lot of issues, and a lot of different things that I guess kind of put me off Anno. And I think when the Seeds of Change come out with this Hacienda, to be honest with you, I didn't really think that the Hacienda release was that good, and that's the reason I really never used it. Now, as well as that, I had my New World very developed in terms of all of the productions and farms and all of it, and it's just something that I didn't kind of want to redo. But then I realized there was really no other option, because I've been lacking then the cocoa and some other things and the sugar, and I mean, the Hacienda is really helping out. I mean, there's no doubt about that. There's an island here that I have especially for it. I mean, this little patch, I think I've had this entire thing just covered in sugar before with the normal ones, and there wasn't enough. But with this little patch here, obviously I have the trade union, we can do this. So it's interesting. And it's just producing, because this is like 500. Like, I mean, it's crazy, absolutely crazy. Anyhow, one final thing I wanted to check. Yes, this. So I have noticed, this was watching someone else, that you can actually cover the trade union with the powered pastures with these things, which is crazy. Because you would have thought that where is it? This would do the job, but no. So hard to know. But I think perhaps moving these guys out of here, because I think beef wise no one cares, because you can always get beef from the old world if you need it. But the power pastures, if that's the case, and they can be covered by the other thing, would be the way to go. And I think that additionally, what was it? 80? Here. So 40 and 50, so 90 more. So not bad. I mean, that's almost twice. So I think if anything, another section just for beef and the milk would be needed. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this. This is just something that I wasn't really, but again, this is just one of the Anno thingies. You can see how many cows there are producing milk. But yes, so this was interesting for me to find out that there is a bunch of random items that are just increasing the pastures themselves. So that's interesting. Anyhow, guys, thank you very much for watching. Please take care of yourselves. And one final thing I wanted to say. Thank you very much for your comments, okay? I really do read them all. And any suggestions, okay, about this, more than welcome. Please just put them there, and I'll I'll read them through, okay, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, anything about Haciendas and anything about the way I have this laid out and things like that, please let me know. Cheers, guys. Take care.